When I went to medical school, and I graduated medical school in 1978, I had never heard of ADHD. In fact, I was going to become an orthopedic surgeon. But at the very last minute, I said, I don't think orthopedics will be interesting enough to last a lifetime. So I switched to a very different specialty, namely psychiatry. And then when I went through my residency in psychiatry, which I completed in 1981, I still had never heard of ADHD. But I had to do, after my adult training, I did a fellowship in child psychiatry. And in 1981, I heard a description of this condition that was then called ADD, Attention Deficit Disorder. And it was this great aha moment because I realized I had it myself. I also realized that the medical description did not understand it, that it was a tremendous dumbing down of the condition. It was an oversimplification. It was just a list of symptoms. And I realized that it was much more deep and rich and complicated than that. And so during the 1980s, I just began to see a lot of people who had it, children, because that's really what people thought it was simply a childhood condition. Then we began to realize that it didn't go away in childhood. That was the old teaching, that it disappears in childhood. And so I saw children who have it and adults who have it. And I began to using the patients as my textbook, because the general textbooks, what little there was, didn't understand the complexity of it. And in talking with my friend John Rady, who was another psychiatrist, had been my chief resident during training, who also has this condition, we fleshed out what it really is. And in 1994, I wrote a book called Driven to Distraction that brought this condition to the general public. We had no idea how many people would read that book. We thought if it sold 5,000 copies, that would be great. Well, it's sold about 1.5 million copies since then, and it really brought ADD, I still call it ADD because that's what it was when I learned about it, to the general public.